委员好。
部长早安，辛苦了哈。
对。
跟主席报告一下，因为讨论过程当中，我想要用全英语来质询，那我会讨论到台北法案，那这个部分请谢谢哈。OK， 好。Thank you, Chairperson. I would like to invite Joseph Wu, okay, to answer the following questions. Good morning, Minister. I would like to carry out my interpellation in English today at the Foreign National Defense Committee, so that important information written in English will not be lost in translation.
请稍待一下，
是，
因为我们一场的会议记录也要同时记录哈。
对，我会同步把。你
没有提前通知本委员会，我没有准备。这个议事人员会英语的来做记录。
我们会提供文字稿，已经准备好了，都印出来了。
那个我是没有问题了哈，但是
主秘可以吗？
我们同步都有文字会处理。
啊，可以吗？好，
我是都没有问题，但是因为这个是那个
议事人员可以
中华民国的国会殿堂，所以要请那个主席来做裁示了。
好，那就继续。
谢谢。OK。Minister,
yes,
the passage of Taipei Act in the U.S. House of Representatives without any objection, which is totally the great news for Taiwan last week.
Yes.
And it was such an honor for me to witness this, and it makes a major progress of Taiwan-U.S. relations, ensuring Taiwan diplomatic space with domestic legislation, and the act was even recognized President Tsai as the president of Taiwan. So here's my question.
Yes.
I would like to express my gratitude to the sponsor of the act, and the longest friend of Taiwan, Senator Cory Gardner. And he actually visited Taiwan last year, and our President Tsai showed him around in my area, 在大稻埕. So here, I strongly demand that MOFA invite him to Taiwan again, and for the inauguration ceremony in May, and thank him in person. So what's your response to that?
Thank you very much for that question. Indeed, Senator Cory Gardner is a very good friend of ours, and he's a very good personal friend of the President and of mine as well. And there are plenty of opportunities for our diplomats in the United States to meet with him, and there are also plenty of opportunities for him to visit Taiwan. But I'm not sure whether this year is a good year for him. He is going to run for re-election, so this is going to be a very busy period of time. But we will extend the invitation to him on behalf of you.
Thank you very much. So when is the invitation will be done? Can we do it as soon as possible? I know he's a busy person, so I totally eagerly asking your help, and then this is on behalf of Taiwan to send him the invitation.
Yes, our DG for North American Affairs is right here. We will instruct our colleagues in Washington, D.C. right away.
Please do so ASAP, okay?
Sure.
And in response to the Taipei Act, I wonder if Taiwan is ready for further strengthen Taiwan-U.S. relations. In the Section 3 of the Taipei Act, Taiwan's official and unofficial partnerships with countries in the Indo-Pacific region are stressed. But we do already have specific guidelines. Do we have any specific guidelines or plans for collaboration ahead?
Yes, we have been working with the United States for quite some time.
Right.
Either in the Indo-Pacific or in the Western Hemisphere. And our Indo-Pacific strategy, it's working very well with the U.S. Indo-Pacific strategy. We are working with each other based on several principles. The first principle is that the two sides follow the fundamental value of freedom, democracy, and the respect of human rights, and therefore that makes us natural partners in reaching out to the international community. And the second principle is that Taiwan and the United States are working together in trying to reach out to the Pacific countries or to the countries in the Western Hemisphere so that Taiwan and U.S. working together can benefit economically for these countries. And of course, we'll continue to work together with the United States so that the countries that I mentioned can continue to benefit from our effort.
Thank you for all the hard works. And then the following one is about coronavirus, okay? We are actually fighting against the outbreak of coronavirus, but Taiwan is really doing pretty well. And we're receiving praises and being emulated by countries hit by disease. Just a few days ago, the president of Palau thanked Taiwan for assisting in combating coronavirus. And I do believe that, the whole world believes that, Taiwan's profession and capacities in public health care sure do a great help into diplomacy. And other ministry can provide professional assistance in the similar ways. Here's my question. I would like to ask Minister Wu, how are different ministries collaborating in terms of diplomacy, and what cooperations plans do we have this year?
Appreciate it very much for this outstanding question. During this period of time when the coronavirus outbreak has become an issue for us to deal with, we have been working together with the Command Center. And of course, the Command Center has not only the Department of Health, but also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Economic Affairs, and etc. And we are working together on that platform to deal with issues that need to be worked together with the Command Center. So that has been working very well. For example, you mentioned about the Palau issue. When we received...
Dr. Wu, it caught my attention that
yes.
CPTPP, we might have a chance to get in, right?
Of course, we have that opportunity.
So do we have confidence for this year, or any other chances?
I'm not sure about this year.
Right.
CPTPP is a different issue. It's not adopted by all countries yet.
Right.
And therefore, we are still waiting for that.
We still have
period
2 more
of time.
countries they are actually having discussing
There's
within
still
their domestic.
There's still 4 more countries to adopt CPTPP. But before that, we are not able to apply for the accession
I think
yet.
I need further report about it, and then if we can try to let me know what's the progress for that, okay?
Yes, I can tell you very briefly.
Right.
This is a period of time where we are not able to apply for the admission yet because they are not open to new members. But we are collaborating with other countries for informal consultation. This is what is allowed. And I can tell you that the informal consultation process has been going very well.
Okay, thank you. And then I'm gonna talk about Taiwan-Japan relations, okay?
Japan.
Taiwan-Japan, I'm sorry, yeah. The MOFA is pretty optimistic about joining the CPTPP, but it takes time and takes efforts too. And so far, we are hoping for the best, and then we are looking forward to have actual progress and having more interactions in terms of trading. However, Taiwan's situation is really delicate. China is concerned about relations between Taiwan and Japan and keep pressuring. Even Japan and Taiwan is simply having good relations. And from this perspective, my question is, can MOFA elaborate an attitude of Japanese government toward Taiwan?
Well, you mentioned about China's attitude toward our relations with Japan. It's not just Japan. China is concerned about our relations with the United States, with Europe, and all the countries that do not have formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan.
Right, exactly.
But we will work very hard to improve the relations with these like-minded countries, whether China likes it or not. And our relations with Japan is rather special. We have so many people visiting each other, and the senior officials from Taiwan side is, cares about our relations with Japan. By the same token, the Japanese senior officials also care about the relations with Taiwan. So that is a very good foundation for Taiwan and Japan to improve relations further. But of course, in the world of diplomacy, a lot of things are done in a very quiet way. So maybe, it's not appropriate for me to elaborate so clearly on the Taiwan-Japan relations.
Totally understand. Okay, finally and last question and last request. Reconnection to the very beginning of my question. I hope MOFA will ask and will take serious consideration inviting sponsor of Taipei Act and other, let me mention, other supportive members of the Senate and the House and friendly officials to Taiwan, okay, before the May 20th. And then, although many events may be cancelled due to coronavirus, foreign guests will have more time to understand Taiwan and do more interactions. And I have to say we have to let them know Taiwan is a profoundly understanding that Taiwan is profoundly totally trustworthy and then worth supporting. 最后还是期待就是希望可以邀请这些台北法的这些相关提案人，还有友好的官员可以过来。
委员刚刚说的非常好，
谢谢。
目前美国政府对台湾的形容，就是台湾是一个民主成功的故事，是一个可以信赖的伙伴，也是世界上一个良善的力量。那我们在美国的朋友很多，不只是共和党，还有民主党，不只是行政部门，还有国会，还有重大的这种政策社群，我们会持续邀访美国的这些好朋友到台湾来访问。
好，谢谢部长，谢谢主席，谢谢议事人员，谢谢。
谢谢哈。在我们的议事规则里面，并没有说不可以用英文质询，但是议事人员要做准确详实的记录哈。那虽然说何委员有提供这个翻译的这个质询稿哈，但是我们议事人员对我们部长的回答，怕会没办法及时准确的记录哈。那以后如果这种情形，还是请通知本委员会好不好？
谢谢主席，我相信我们的议事人员还有外交部是万能的，而且我们期待跟美国的关系如此的友好。那为了精准表达，以上报告，谢谢。
我们希望我们的议事人员也能够精准的记录。
会的，
谢谢，
我很有信心，感谢，加油，谢谢。
接下来请陈以信委员质询。
All right, now let's switch back to Mandarin.
请吴部长。
请吴部长。